It's been said that every quilt tells a story, and it's so true. But I also believe every quilter has a story to tell. I wanted to hear about the people behind these wonderful quilts and thought you'd enjoy hearing about their lives also. Welcome to A Quilter's Life. I'm excited to share the favorite quilting tools of my guests on A Quilter's Life podcast from 2024. I love how this list changes from year to year. You'd think that they would share the new and improved tools that we all love to get our hands on. But it seems we are all so thankful that we have some basic quilting tools that allow us to make our beautiful quilts. I'm going to start with computer software. It's a wonderful tool to help us design our quilts. The Seam Guide, Seam So Easy by Lori Holt was a favorite too. You don't have to draw the lines for a half square triangle or flying geese. This tool just makes it easy. Needles made it on the list again. Now, a brand new sharp applique needle, our hand needles that we stitch with, and also even our sewing machine needles. If you're like me, you tend to keep the old one in a little too long, but a sharp needle really makes it go better. The Aliso iron was mentioned. Now, a couple people did mention it, but I thought it was interesting that no other iron was mentioned during the year, just the Aliso. A handmade thimble made from leather. I haven't seen too many of those out there, but it sounds like it would make a comfortable tool to use. We also love our seam ripper. Of course, we need it to correct the mistakes that we make, that we choose to take out. Now, last year, that was the most mentioned tool, but it was not the most mentioned this year. A quilting hoop. That's usually for people that are hand quilting, but this quilting hoop was a very specific one, a Norwood frame that sits on a pedestal with a ball joint swivel. Do you have a design wall? I have too many windows in my house to make a good design wall, so I don't have one yet, but I know so many people do. A favorite design wall this year was Fawns and Porter's because it has grommets to be able to hang it. Don't we love our scissors? The scissors that were mentioned this year are the Karen K. Buckley Little Red Handle Scissors, the Karen K. Buckley Scissors for Collage, and then also just small scissors to get into small places. A few sewing machines were mentioned. One has a Juki because she loves to sew fast. Another mentioned their quilting machine. I kind of put that together with the sewing machine, although it's probably a long arm. And then a digital dual foot on your sewing machine. Hers had special sensors that kept everything neat. A stiletto is so handy. It can make tricky piecing go so much better. It also grips that fabric. It's been indispensable on an art quilt that was shared. And then one loves her African porcupine quilt stiletto. It's not going to harm your machine if the needle accidentally hits it like a metal or wood one might. This one surprised me a little bit, not that it was said, but that several people mentioned it. A light box. It can be used for making portrait quilts or art quilts. It helps you get the shapes just in the spot you want them. It also helps for paper piecing. If you're drawing out a pattern when making mosaics, it's very helpful with that. And then the light desk can also be used to create nice applique patterns. Well, the favorite tool that was most mentioned this year are the rulers that we love. Several mentioned a stripology ruler. Using that ruler, it's easier to make squares. You can lay it on your fabric. You cut 2 inches or whatever size you're going to make your square. You pick up your ruler carefully and put it down at a 90-degree angle, lining up your cuts with your lines. And then you cut again the size you want your square, and your squares come out so perfect. That Stripology ruler just makes things efficient. And especially when you're wanting to cut a lot of small pieces. The next ruler was the Lock Block ruler, and it helps you make that perfect half-square triangle. Another guest said basic ruler and rotary cutter. With this simple tool, the possibilities are endless. We also like the cutting board. Some of us call that a cutting mat. Of course, that guest was comparing the mats that we have now to what she had to do when she first learned, when she used scissors and then also made her templates from sandpaper. Quilter Select rulers are loved. These rulers just don't slip or slide when you're cutting. Another guest listed the 2.5 by 6 inch ruler. Then for the long armers, a guest loved the 4 by 10 1/4-inch ruler to use with her long arm. And I added in with rulers the Cricut machine. A Cricut or an AccuQuilt helps cut the fabric, especially if you're having shoulder problems or something like that. It makes the job much simpler. I hope you have enjoyed another year of favorite tools. I am looking forward to 2025 to hear more stories of the wonderful people behind all the beautiful quilts. And I'm sure you are too. You can find more stories on aquilterslife.com or subscribe on your favorite podcast player so each episode will be downloaded automatically. Also, I want to hear about you and your wonderful quilts. Please contact me, Paula Chamberlain, through the website to set up an interview. And as always, thanks for listening.